Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt is your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where edutainment is what I do. A theatrical release of the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League? Who asked for that? And is it really going to happen, or is it folks just talking about it happening? Well, I got an article from CBR that we're going to read over, and then we're going to talk about it. And then, of course, I got to make reference to Recast T'Challa. But before we do that, I need y'all to do what you always do for your mans and them. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page so that when the material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the page. All right. CBR. Snyder Cut of Justice League. Let's observe. Justice League's Snyder Cut may finally get its theatrical debut. Zack Snyder's Justice League remains available for streaming on HBOMax, but the fan-petitioned director's cut might also be in theaters soon. Okay, that's by Jim Johnson. Yesterday, CBR. Let's see what's going on. Whammo! The future of DC's so-called Snyderverse remains in doubt with James Gunn's recent DCEU takeover, but despite that, Zack Snyder's Justice League might still see its theatrical debut, and it could happen as soon as next month. The indication comes in the form of a cryptic image shared by Snyder on social media Saturday, which comes following a tweet by Snyder days earlier featuring a semi-garbled voice of Darkseid, ruler of Apocalypse, urging those watching to save the dates of April 28th through the 30th. The subsequent graphic displays the acronym for Snyder's film above the number 30 and references IMAX, collectively hinting at a big screen showing for his director's cut of the film on April 30th. The original Justice League, directed by Joss Whedon after Snyder left the project due to the death of his daughter, was released theatrically in 2017. That is the graphic of which they are speaking of. Looky there, you got MOS, which stands for Man of Steel, a Snyder movie, 28th of April. BVS, obviously, Batman versus Superman, 29th. And, of course, ZSJL, Zack Snyder, Justice League, 30th of April. In IMAX. So that's the graphic that they are talking about. Snyder's latter post states, "Happy JL anniversary. Hashtag full circle," a reference to the 2-year anniversary of Zack Snyder's Justice League release on HBO Max in 2021. The release came in the wake of the fan-driven release the Snyder Cut petition, leading to the completion and release of the film envisioned by the director. The reference dates also add further credence to the existence of a rumored SnyderCon, with potential showings of Snyder's Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice in the days preceding Snyder's Justice League. The graphics background features an image from the black and white version of Snyder's cut. Dawn of the Snyderverse. In Snyder's version of the film, Darkseid's one-time Lieutenant Steppenwolf tries to regain his lord's favor by procuring the 3 Mother Box devices and in turn transform Earth into an apocalypse-like world. Darkseid was reportedly slated to be featured in future DC films, but Snyder's exit from the DCEU and its subsequent redirection left the character's level of involvement within the DCEU, as well as Snyder's own, in doubt. Related, but not necessarily needing to be read, I'm going to read it anyway. Why Netflix restoring the Snyderverse isn't likely to happen. The director's darker vision for 2013's Man of Steel and 2016's Batman vs. Superman divided viewers, many of whom expressed disdain for Snyder's grim and serious interpretation of DC's flagship characters. What? That division deepened with the release of Whedon's Justice League, which excised most of Snyder's already filmed content in favor of a lighter approach. Whedon's film received mixed reviews and was widely considered a box office disappointment. The Snyderverse films, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Zack Snyder's Justice League, are currently streaming on HBOMax. Okay, so what we've just read here is potentially next month in April, towards the end of April, 28th, 29th, and 30th, you could be seeing a triple play of Zack Snyderness. Kind of on the fence with Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's been kind of hit and miss with me. I enjoy some of his movies, but then there's other movies where I'm like, ooh. Now, while Zack Snyder is a guy who I have seen in his movies, as evidenced with movies like 300 and Watchmen, has a propensity to try to stick close or as close as possible to source material. Man of Steel, we've seen that story over and over and over and over and over and over again. What we didn't see is an antagonist that is worthy of the Man of Steel, and we saw that in that movie. A couple of antagonists. It was almost kind of reminiscent of Superman 2 back in the day, and that's something we want to see. We don't want to see Superman match wits with Lex Luthor. Nobody's here for that. And instead of giving us that, Zack Snyder gave us what we wanted to see, a superhero type movie. Okay, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. Not the greatest movie ever made, but I will say this about Dawn of Justice. The fight scene in the warehouse between Batfleck and those goons, easily probably one of the best scenes in that entire movie, if not the best scene, because it very, very, very much captured the essence physically of what Batman is and what Batman would do, could do, and can do in a fight. I'm not a huge Batman fan, but that scene right there made me say, okay, the 3 hours wasn't a total waste. I got 5 minutes of joy. You know what I mean? And that's how I look at it. Now, think about it. There was a lot of beefing between 2017 and 2021 when the Snyder Cut was released. Now, in reference to another movement called Recast T'Challa, has been going for the better part of about 2-3 years. Okay, so if we at Recast T'Challa can be inspired by news like this for our fellow protesters, I guess is what we could call them, over there in the Snyderverse, and they're getting what they want, what's the difference? Okay, we're asking for a character to be restored. They were asking for this whole entire BS version of Justice League to disappear and give us the version that was supposed to come out, the vision that Zack Snyder had, regardless of if he's a good movie maker, a crappy movie maker, he had a vision. And that vision was realized in 2021. Now, if people want to go to the movies and watch a 4-hour movie, there is the only downside to the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice. Well, not the only downside, but the main downside. I mean, it's bad enough mugs don't want to sit in a theater for 3 hours, for 2.5 hours. You gonna slap them in there for 4? Y'all go give up an intermission? You know what I'm saying? Y'all go get pee breaks? I mean, 4 hours is a long time to sit in a seat and watch a movie, regardless of how good it is. It's 4 hours. You know what I mean? So while I am happy that Snyderverse fans may be getting what they petitioned and fought long and hard for, the question is, do people want to see a 4-hour superhero in IMAX? Ooh, I don't know. 4 hours? Nah, bro. I'm not gonna be able to sit in a movie theater for 4 hours. And I've seen it on HBO, and I was squirming. You know what I mean? So a movie theater, and then you talk about me paying money, and it was already on. I don't know. I don't know about going to see Zack Snyder Justice League in the theaters. And if the Snyderverse folk are that dedicated to it, more power to y'all. Congratulations. But yeah, Recast T'Challa. On the other hand, we have not had a 3-hour movie that we asked for. So bear in mind, all of you people that hate hearing this, bear in mind, all of you people that are tired of hearing about Recast T'Challa, cover your damn ears then. Stop paying attention. Stop coming on people's pages who are talking about it and trolling. Okay? They are asking for something. They're not being delusional. We're not being delusional. We're asking legitimately for something. Just like these folks at the Snyderverse asked legitimately for and got. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, factors are different, but it's still essentially fans asking for better representation. Snyderverse fans got ignored for 3 years. Is 3 truly a magic number, y'all? Well, we gonna find out, because from what I seen, Recast T'Challa folks ain't ready to back off no time soon. So, bearing in mind, just a friendly reminder, if they can do all of this for the Snyder Cut of Justice League, they can damn sure do it for recasting T'Challa. Not saying it's the same people doing it, but fans have spoken in regard to the Snyder Cut, and apparently they were heard. So, y'all gonna keep hearing from us. Recast T'Challa, recast T'Challa, recast T'Challa. You can troll all you want. You can talk all the trash you want. You can be as disrespectful as you want. That's not going to stop people from continuing to ask for it. So y'all can either move on with your lives and don't worry about us in the recast movement, or you can keep getting ignored, or you can keep getting clowned, whichever one y'all seem to enjoy the most. Because it's obvious that that you can't have a logical, sensible, reasonable, understanding conversation. Okay? Because you don't have the facts about the situation. You're going off of information that was put together in minutes, and the people who put that information together aren't 100% versed on the source material themselves. So the picture they're giving you is skewed at best. We want a clear, definitive representation of T'Challa. with as many storylines, with as many different adventures you can put into a movie. I think I heard somebody on Twitter say something to the effect of, you got enough story material in the comics to turn into movies for T'Challa the Black Panther to last for at least 6, 7 movies. I can vouch for that and say you got enough material to last for more than that. What's the common denominator? Right? Recast T'Challa. Dead T'Challa was a Skrull. Save T'Challa. No T'Child. That's where we at with it. That's where we're going to stay. You want to talk about it, we can talk about it. You want us to be disrespectful, you could be ignored or clowned. Those are the choices. There is no middle ground. We done talking about it. Y'all know what we want. You know why we want it. You can act like you don't, or you could say whatever little hurtful, silly, immature comment you have to say. We still gonna be like, look into my eye. You know what I'm saying? But that's it for now. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, yeah, y'all be good. Be good to each other. Recast the chapter.